So we have 6 fields there, and 24 is divided into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. So we need to be sure that we're completing all of them, A through J. So 24A is dates of services. If the patient came in today on 7/16/10, that's where we're going to put in the claim. So the services were provided today and ended today. So we're going to do 7/16/10 to 7/16/10. That's part A of the claim. Part B, that's related to place of services. Where was the service provided? Was it provided in the office or was it provided outside the office? You need to have codes for that. Those codes also indicate to the insurance where the service was provided. When a service is provided in the office, it's code 11. Code 11 is the most commonly used, but you should refer to your little grid that you have in your handout to all the different codes for the place of services. Now, letter C, EMG, emergency services provided. If this person was pulled in an ambulance, that's where you would indicate that. But since we're talking about place of service being in the office, we skip that one. Then we go to D. That's really, really important. This is where the CPT code is typed in. The CPT code tells them what service was provided. Then we have letter E. Letter E is the diagnosis pointer. Remember back in field 21, we did the diagnosis code? So the diagnosis code has to correlate with the CPT code. In other words, it has to justify the procedure. So in box E, we need to indicate which of the diagnosis codes justifies the procedure that was done. I have a little example here, and in this one, the office visit relates to one of diagnosis codes. And in the diagnosis code areas, you have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you need to make sure that the pointer is written as either 1, 2, 3, or 4, based on the diagnosis that justifies the procedure. We move on to letter F. That's the money, guys. That's the real deal. How much is that procedure costing you? So that's what we write in there. And we write in dollar figures. We do not write the dollar sign. It's already on the top of the field. So make sure you only write the number. So in this case, we would say $165, for example. So what we write in there is $165 and 00 with the cents. Then the last one here is days or units in letter G. Letter G, it's about how much did we give this patient. And this is talking about, did we give him an injection? If we gave him an injection, how much units did we give him of that injection? Then we have H. Is this a family plan? Yes or no? So we will indicate yes or no. And I is the ID. So it already says their MPI. You don't have to worry about that. You jump directly to J. That's where we put the rendering provider ID number, which is the National Provider Identification Number. And that is to tell them who provided that service. So on 24, there's lots of information that we need to talk about. And you need to ensure that it is clearly translated for that insurance to review. You have an option to go up to 6 codes. In other words, 6 service codes. If you have more than 6 service codes that you need to bill for, you need to get an additional claim form. Let's go to about 25. 25 is the tax identification number. We all have to pay taxes, right? So the physician has to have a tax identification number. and that's the number that we write in there. We also have field 26. That's the patient's account number. If the patient has an account number at the doctor's office, you can write that in. That is just for your information. Number 27, accept assignment. That's a yes or no. If the physician accepts assignment, it's going to say yes or no. Number 28 is the total charges from lines 1 through 6. The computer automatically should be adding that. If you have to do this manually, please be sure you use a calculator. Number 29. This is another one that's important. If we have a copayment, that's where you write how much the copayment is that was paid. Some patients will have a coinsurance or a deductible. Whatever the patient paid for on that day, that's the information you are going to put in here. And then you deduct the total charges minus what the patient paid as the total balance. So you move it forward. Number 31, if you're submitting this claim as what we call a paper claim, the physician can sign the claim. If not, we can use signature on file. We also make sure that we have the date. Field number 32, that's where the provider is. That's their address. And at the bottom, we need to put the NPI number again. And last field, field number 33, the name of the physician because it's the provider and their NPI number. So as you can see, fields number 14 to 33, there's a lot of fields to complete. However, they only are completed when applicable. What you need to ensure is that the CPT code is justified by the ICD-9 code. You need to ensure that you have the correct place of service. You need to ensure that you have the correct amount and the NPI. Okay guys, the good news is that we got to the end of this. I know how exciting you were to learn how to complete the CMS1500 form. Before we finish though, let me leave you with 3 very important points. Number 1, before you submit the claim, what do you need to do? Proofread. Proofread is important. We want to ensure that we get paid. Make sure you do that. Number 2, verify your codes. Make sure that what you're billing for is being justified. How do you do that? CPT code, ICD-9 code. Make sure that those are correct. And lastly, make sure that if your patient is not the one who's insured, that you complete the other insured piece of the claim. That is very important. We want to get paid. That's the ultimate goal. Remember, clean claims get paid. And that about does it for the claim form. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.